Hey folks, this is Billy DKY, the truth seeker that simplifies and demystifies. Today I'm going to be talking about UFC 102, Couture versus Nogueira. This is going to be my early predictions. This is going to be just right off the cuff. I ain't really thinking about it too much. I'm just getting something out there. And, you know, later on I might do a better one after all my thoughts are really clear on it. But I just wanted to get something out there, get some thoughts from people, see what other people are thinking. And I really like video responses instead of, you know, all the comments. Because people get right plumb nasty with their comments. Okay, so let's start with the main card. And again, I'm only going to talk about the fights I think are interesting. Which this actually looks like a pretty good card just on the surface. I'm going to be disappointed not to get to see some of the undercards. Anyway, Randy Couture versus Nogueira. I mean, that's a hard fight to call. You know, they both fought Tim Sylvia. They both beat Tim Sylvia, and Nogueira did a better job, sorta. Took an ass beat first, then won, where Randy sort of, you know, won the decision. So, I'd have to go with Randy on it. I think that Randy's going to be the better fighter. I think it's going to be interesting when he takes you to the ground. What's Nogueira going to do? Will Nogueira be able to submit him or not? I mean, you know Randy's going to clinch with him. You know Randy's going to take him to the ground. They'll probably do a little stand-up. You know Randy's going to clinch with him eventually and take him down and ground and pound. You figure Nogueira's going to do some kind of submission attempt on the bottom. So that's going to be an interesting fight. I love the fights where you don't really know what's going to happen. You're like, I think this could happen, but this could happen too. And you just don't know. So that's going to be awesome. That's going to be an awesome fight. Oh, wait a second. I got something kicked up here. Okay, I'm back with you. Okay. Next fight, Keith Jardine and Thiago Silva. That's a tough fight, too. I mean, both guys hit hard. I mean, I don't know how to call that one either. That's a fight that's just like, I just don't know. I got to see it to know. So, I mean, that Thiago Silva's a tough cat. I mean, he was whipping some serious ass until he ran into that Machida, which is another, you know, he's like Anderson Silva. He's on another level. You know, he's bringing some respect back to karate. And that brings in another point. I think somebody somewhere down the line is going to bring respect to Aikido eventually in MMA. I don't know how, but I don't really have a whole lot to say on that because I really don't know what's going to happen. I can see Keith Jardine getting knocked out on his feet because he seems like he gets knocked out. He gets knocked out a lot, and I don't know. I don't know what to say on that one. That's 50-50 for me. I have no idea what to say on this one either, but I think it's going to be an interesting fight. Chris Levin and Jake Rosenthal. I think Jake Rosenthal, he was in WEC. I mean, that's going to be an interesting fight, you know. I think Jake Rosenthal, what he's going to want to do is take Crippling to the ground because I think he's like some big wrestler. So, I mean, I don't have a whole lot to say on that one because it's hard to call it, you know. But I don't know. I don't know what to say on that one really. Just I think it's going to be interesting. I do want to see it. The next one I think I have some things to say. Nate Marquardt versus Damian Maia. I tell you what, I'm seriously impressed with Damian Maia. No disrespect to Nate Marquardt because he's definitely a bad mofo. There ain't no doubt about that. I mean, you can look at him and tell he's a bad mofo, but let's cut the BS, folks. Everybody that steps in the UFC ring is a bad mofo and going to whip a lot of people in real life if they get chosen to get in a real fight. So anytime I talk about anybody in the MMA, that's an underlying assumption you should take. I know they're bad. Don't need to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Okay, Damian Maia. This is what I was impressed with Damian Maia. He's jiu-jitsu, but it's like chess jiu-jitsu. He's already planning out. When he grabs a hold of you standing up, he's already got you 7 or 8 steps down the line. Okay, I'm going to drop you to the ground. I'm going to spin you, twist you. You're going to want to do this. I'm going to do this. And boom, 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 and you're in an armbar. I watched him at one fight, and I could see it. He was playing the whole thing out. I don't know if he trained for it, which I'm assuming he did, but from the clinch, standing up, he already had the chess moves lined out. And I bet he had it laid out in several. Well, if they do this, I'll do this, and that. I mean, that's another level of jiu-jitsu. It ain't jiu-jitsu in the moment. It's jiu-jitsu planned out. I mean, he's like project management jiu-jitsu. For any of y'all in business, I mean, he's got the stuff planned out. I don't know what's going to happen there. I mean, I don't remember Damian Maia being much of a striker that I can remember. But I know his jiu-jitsu left an impression on my mind. If I wanted to study jiu-jitsu, I think that's the guy I'd want to go talk to, because he's thinking, plus he's doing jiu-jitsu. You know, he's planning ahead. I mean, it's major. Okay, Nate Morcourt, I don't know. He may be one of those guys like Brock Lesnar who just lay on you. But I don't see him doing that, because I think he wants to pound you. So I think Damian Maia is going to win that on the ground. That's what I think is going to happen. I could be wrong. You know, sometimes you meet a real strong wrestler, he can neutralize that with power and just walk right through that skill, like, you know, like Brock Lesnar did to Frank Mir. It's obvious Frank Mir has superior skill on the ground, but what are you going to do? Brock Lesnar just got too much power. He powers right through it. I mean, try your jiu-jitsu on a bear, see how it works out. You tell me how it works out. I'm sure I'll be hearing about you on the news. So anyway, I'm going to pick Damian Maia on the ground. Again, I'm doing this at the end of UFC 100, so it's still got a long... This don't happen until August 29th. Like, again, these are early predictions. I'm trying to get thoughts. I'm trying to get my own thoughts out there. You know, when you put your thoughts out on the internet, you're going to get thoughts back. And a lot of them's going to be negative. So, anyway, if you like the video and you got a positive thought, give it a good rating, because there's so many people that give crappy ratings. Don't just ignore it. Rate it one. I don't care how you rate it. Just, whatever. Matt Hamill versus Brandon Vera. I'm getting to where I don't really like watching Matt Hamill fights, but I think him and Brandon Vera together, I think that's going to be a good fight. I've really been disappointed in Brandon Vera. It's like he was talking a lot of good game when he started, but it just hasn't materialized, you know. And it's just, I don't know. I don't know what to say on that one. It ought to be interesting. It ought to be real interesting. I can see Matt Hamill taking him to the ground, because Brandon's supposedly a halfway decent striker, but I haven't really been seeing a whole lot of it. But I think Matt Hamill will try to take him to the ground. If he tries to strike with him, it's probably not going to be the best to his advantage, but you never can tell what he's going to do. Gonzaga's supposed to be fighting somebody. I have no idea. No, he's talking about that. Wilson Gouveia is going to fight James Irwin, but they're showing Wilson Gouveia at 185 and the Sandman at 205, so I don't have any idea. Plus, it don't show to be televised. I would have liked to see that, though. Anyway, that's sort of my beginning. Like I say, these are my real early thoughts on UFC 102. I like to think about this stuff, and then by the time the fight gets there, my thoughts are solid. Right now, my thoughts are fluid, very fluid. I'm going to talk to my cousin. He likes to watch it. I got a buddy I go watch it with up in Louisville, Kentucky. I like going up there and watching it at some of the sports bars. And so, yeah, give me some thoughts. I'd like to hear what you got to think. And try, look, folks, don't be all confrontational and ignorant on there in your comments, because I'm just going to ignore you. I'm going to skip right down to the next one where somebody's got something intellectual to say that's, being reasonable. If you start cussing, calling me stupid and ignorant and all this, it ain't going to solve nothing. So just quit wasting your time. Control your emotions a little bit. And just give a reasonable comment. And again, rate the video, because there's too many people out there that get a negative. So many people would like the videos, they don't rate them. Then the people that come through that don't like them, they're the ones that rate it, and then they're the ones that, it's like the squeaky wheels getting the vote, Anyway, folks, take care.